everybody, welcome to Tactics Test. It's International Master Sopiko Guramishvili here for you on Chess 24. So it's Thursday evening and here I am again. This time we're going to solve the tactics, and next time we're going to have Banter Blitz with me, and it will be the last show this year because it will be on 29th of December. Good news is that I will have a new microphone which you won't have any problems with the microphone I have now, so I apologize for that for now, but next week it will be better. And then, as you know, I'm playing the Vikanze tournament, the Tata Steel Chess Group B, so I won't have any shows at that moment. Afterwards, I'm having the World Women Championship in Iran, and then I'll be back at some point, of course. But still, we have one show ahead, and I'm not gonna say goodbye for now, and I'll tell you to look forward for the last New Year show. That would be really, I'm hoping that it would be very good with lots of surprises, so please be there and stay tuned for the next week as well. Okay, so today we're going to solve the tactics on Tactics Trainer on Chess 24. Who are new at this show, I'm going to explain how does it work. You go on Chess24 website, which I'm going to do right now. Afterwards, you're going to push the tab Learn and then Solve Tactics. So it's gonna be Learn, Tactics Trainer, and Start Classic Trainer, which I started already now, and I have the very first position, and here we go. I hope you see the board. Okay. It is white to move. Black's last move was Rook F7, and what can be the deal with this? First of all, when I look at the position, I'm trying, if I don't see the right away motive or mate or something, I'm trying to understand what is the material situation, and as I see it is equal. Then I'm paying attention to the weak diagonal squares or anything that might give me winning position or some mating attack, and then I'm paying attention to weak pieces. As far as I see in this position, something goes on g7 square. If I sacrifice right away, let's say bishop g7 or rook g7, I don't see anything after rook takes g7 back. But there might be some idea. I don't know, I like actually to, let's say, if there was not this knight, then I would have perfect position, this very dangerous check. And then rook f8 and rook g7, rook f8 mate. This gives me idea of playing queen c4. I don't know how strong it is, but for me it's for sure very interesting. If I risk and play queen c4, what's gonna happen? If he takes, then of course there is mate. If he doesn't take and let's say plays rook c6, I might have knight e7 and rook g7, knight e7, bishop e7, or yeah, rook e7, he cannot take, rook g7, king h8. It's tough position, but after king h8 I can take probably queen f7. No, I cannot take because knight f7 is there, and rook f7, the f8 mate is not there. What else? It's really bad that I don't have opportunity to see the commands simultaneously while I'm solving the tactics, but time to time I'm checking the chat, I'm checking how you guys are thinking and what are the advices you're giving to me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm gonna take a look at some point at the chat and I'm gonna try to answer your questions. And I'm still thinking about queen c4. I don't know it is correct move or not, but I'm still thinking about it. Another, when you have such situation and you don't know what is the solution of the position and you have time, there is a method of candidate moves. Which means that we are going to look at the position, we're briefly taking a look at the position and saying the moves, like what are the candidate moves. For example, queen c4 is there, knight e7 looks interesting to me, but after bishop e7 I'm not sure what can I play. Or maybe something connected to knight e7. For example, if I play rook e7, bishop e7 is the move, of course, rook g7, rook g7, or no, bishop g7, rook g7, and knight e7. This was my idea, but I don't know, it's a bit too good for this position. It's tough. Time is ticking. If I didn't have time and if it was my game, then I would probably play queen c4 and just play for the tricks. I actually want to ask you, what do you think about queen c4? Do you think it's correct move? Because I'm not sure. If I make this move, I'm pretty sure that Chess24 tactics trainer will be very disappointed in me. And it won't be the correct solution. But I'm gonna try it anyway, because I really think, no, yeah. Of course, it's not the move. Knight b4. Oh, this did not even come to my mind. So the idea is queen d6, as I understand. Queen b5 and knight a6. It's really very beautiful and it's really nice. I guessed the idea that I have to play against this knight and I have to distract it, but it did not occur to me that I can simply move my knight and somehow threaten. So with knight b4, it's an amazing, really very beautiful move. After knight b4, we have double attack. Well, it's not directly double attack, but it has idea of queen d6. So if a b4, then queen d6, rook d6, and rook e8. It's very beautiful. Unfortunately, here I don't have opportunity to show you the line, but there is a tab on Chess24. I will show you how it works. For example, here you see analyze the puzzle and settings. So you could go to analyze the puzzle, where you see computer evaluation, and there we can make any moves, we can analyze the position. So it's a great feature of Chess24. Alright, let's see another tactic, and again white's move. Black's last move was knight c5. I have passed pawn. From the very first sight I see that I have the very much passed pawn. Knight c5 obviously is a mistake, because after queen c5 it's a check and I lose that passed pawn. b7 is the idea, but knight b7, queen d7, and king h6, queen b7, my a4 knight. This one is still hanging. And what else I can try? So now it's hanging here. But I'm not sure also what can I do. It feels like b7 should be the move, but after knight b7, queen d7, okay, it should be the move, I think. For example, b7, knight b7, queen d7. If king goes on 8th diagonal, 8th rank, then queen c8 and I grab this knight with check. This is very important. So he has to go on h6, which means that I can make move like queen c8, threaten mate here, but then he has knight d8. This is not nice. Queen c8, knight d8. Don't like this. Queen f7 afterwards. If I take here, I don't... I have to be careful because there is queen e1, queen h1 perpetual check. Seems today is not the day that I'm solving the tactics greatly. I'm spending a lot of time, but I hope that it's instructive what I think and how not to think in this position, or if I solve it correctly, how to think. But still, this is the kind of all ideas I see, because it's very little pieces on the board. It's an end game. Obviously it's a tactic, so I don't want to make a draw or suffer for a draw. Obviously there should be some kind of motive which wins the game. What if I cannot even give up this queen because this knight. Maybe king h2. Is it very bad move? King h2 is actually nice because it goes from this diagonal. There is no check, nothing. If he grabs with the queen, I'll take it and b7. If he takes knight with the knight, then I can simply give a check. King h6, b7, queen b6, and queen c8, and pawn just goes. And yeah, I think that's the move. Let's try. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. That's really beautiful. No, queen d7 first. This I said queen d7, check first, and then b7, but in my mind I thought that after queen d7, king h6, maybe he has queen e1, b7, queen e1. And this is what I disliked. I'm not sure, I don't see now, because after king h6, obviously we go probably b7 or queen d8, because I want mate here. But queen d8, then okay, let's say king h7, there is no b7, check again. I'm really interested that after king h6 in this line, b7, queen e1, how am I supposed to win this? Another line is that we might not play b7 at this moment. but play king h6, queen d8, king g7, queen e7, king h6, then queen f6 is there, and mate is threatened. So it means that the king should go on 8th rank, and if he goes after, let's say, check and king g8, then there is b7 just, and there is no queen e8 because of b8. That's I think that's very interesting and a bit subtle that white has to give the check first. What was the problem with b7 was that he could go queen c7, and then I'm in trouble. I cannot go queen b3 because knight b6 is there. I would be in lost position, and I had to take on a4 and suffer for the draw. I hope it's understandable with what lines I set here. I'm doing it blindfold, but I guess that all of you can calculate few moves. So after queen d7, I was talking about king h6, and I said that b7 is mistake because of queen e1, and there is perpetual. There is no perpetual check because b8, queen h4, and queen h3 is there. Okay, so it was nonsense what I was talking about, but still, you have to learn on my mistakes. Let's continue, and we have some, I think, Sicilian position with the sacrifice of the piece on d5. And now it is white to move, so it means that this sacrifice worked. Move candidates: rook c7, king c7, queen e7, king b8, king is safe. This is not a good move candidate. Queen e6, f takes e6, f takes e6, mate. This looks good. This looks very good. King e7, and I can simply play rook, I think, rook c7, bishop d7, queen e7, king e7, and rook e1, mate. And if rook d7, then I think this should be the solution. If rook d7, I wanted to play rook c8, rook d8, and rook e1. Let's hope it works. Yeah. Finally, one puzzle that I managed to solve. It's very nice. You have to spot this idea very quickly. But my first intention was to give this check on c7, which of course was dead right away. Let's continue. White to move. And black's last move was queen g6. So what does it mean? Queen g6, move candidates can be rook e8, if, let's say, queen e8, queen h7, queen f7 is the only move, queen h8, king, queen g8, queen h6, king e8, bishop h5, and f7. This should be winning. I think this is the idea. Rook e8, queen e8, queen h7, queen f7. Oops. Yeah, okay, it ended here, but actually here I can just give a check, queen g8, then take the h6 pawn, king e8 is the only move, and after bishop h5, f7 and f8 goes and promotes to the queen. Let's continue. e2. White's move again. Black's last move was e2, and what's going on? if I don't do anything quickly, that's for sure I'm gonna lose. I have two rooks on the same file and h6 pawn. So I think I have to pay attention to these pieces. Rook c8 is the very first move that comes to my mind. King b7, rook c7, king b6, this is all normal. No, it's not normal because after rook c7 there is bishop c7, so I don't know, I apologize because I'm blundering in my thoughts, but at least I'm not doing it on the board for now. What about h7? This seems very forcing because black queen should go somewhere. Let's say if h7, queen h3, queen h3, then what? Okay, then I can just give a check on c8, king b7, h8. We probably exchange the queens and I'll have a lot of material. So I think h7 is not the move. Knight e3, queen e3 and h7. This looks tiny bit weird for me because I don't understand why h7 was bad. For example, here I hoped, okay, maybe queen d8 is his idea, and on rook c8, queen c8, rook c8 and king b7. But still I don't see the point because I can go back rook c1 and it's completely winning. Okay, his idea of course is that after queen d8, rook c8, queen c8, rook c8, king c8, h8, queen, but it doesn't matter because he goes king b7, and then I'm in huge trouble. It's really huge trouble because this pawn is so strong. After h8 and king b7, if I go queen e8, then there is e takes f1 with the mate, and otherwise I cannot stop the promotion. Oh, this is really beautiful. It's very so I needed to distract this queen from d3, and after h7, queen d8, I cannot do anything about it. I just have to move the knight. Well, I can play knight e3 and stuff like that, but knight e3, actually he can play also the move, let's say b3. It's not that he is obliged to take on e3. And I still think that after h7, queen d8, I can play knight e3 and we get kind of same position. Or maybe here there is queen c4. Because if he takes here, then h8, queen c8, this would for sure lead to mate. I don't even calculate this one, but queen c4 is interesting, h8, king b8, and again I'm in king b7, no, king a7, because king b7 I might have check on h1. So I missed queen c4, which is quite nasty. And h8 doesn't help that there is a check. It doesn't help because king a7 and this pawn is so strong, this is under attack, and black is completely winning. It's very nice that I miss the things because now we understand what is black's threat and why we cannot be greedy for the tempos. My mistake in this position was that I played h7 thinking that, okay, I have h8 check, come on, I am promoting my pawn with the check, and there should be something because I win the move. I have a tempo, giving a check, and I have the queen on the board. But it doesn't work because after queen c4, yeah, black is doing great, and black has completely winning position because there are huge threats. This knight is under attack, this rook is under attack, and nothing helps. Not queen h6 after king a7, because he will just take on f1, and that's why I had to play knight e3, and after queen e3, just h7 now. And it means that he cannot take on c4 anymore, and there is no point to play queen h6, let's say, because rook c8, king b7, and h8. The pawn is on 8th rank, and it is not anymore the pawn, but the queen. Okay, let's continue. And pawn endgame. I hate pawn endgames when it's about puzzle, because you have to calculate so many things. But anyway, chess is all about calculation, so I'm going to try sit here and have move candidates and calculation. My feeling is saying that it should be some kind of sacrifice, and the pawn should be promoted. What I mean is that the king on d6 is very far, and it means that after, let's say, f4, h4, g3, this e3 pawn can run. Now it is all about the move order and to choose the right move order. We know the idea, we know what we have to do, and we have two move candidates. It is either h4 or f4. Let's try to begin with f4. The idea is that if he takes with g takes f, then h4, h3, it will be queen. If he takes with e pawn, then h4, g takes, and g3, f takes, and e3. Yeah, I think f4 is the move. h4, g3, and e3. This is nice. I think it doesn't need any more explanation, and after this puzzle I'm going to have a look at the chat, so if you have some questions, please do ask and I'm going to answer them. Again, pawn endgame. G4 was white's last move, and let's see what I'm going to do and where I'm going to play. After g4, it means that it's actually a very bad move, because always, never ever try to play moves like g4 in endgames, because you might need this tempo. Let's say g3, or like g3 might be a move there, but of course king c3 should have been played. That is why I think king b4 is very logical move here. Let's say king a2. Do I have something or not? King b4, king a2, king c3, king a3. If I go king d3, it's not the way I want to play. If I wanted to go for this pawn, then I should go king d4 right here. Let's say king a3, king e3, king a4, king f3, king a5, king g3, king h3, b4. I think I'm very slow. King g4, b5 is already there. h5, b6, h4, b7, h3, and b8. I'm losing. So what can be the idea here? King b4 looks like it is the move. King c2 also can be played. doesn't look like it's winning for black. King b4, king c2 or king a2. If he wants to draw, I think both are fine. h5 doesn't make any sense. It's very strange position. Either I'm really very tired and I cannot see anything, or the position is indeed very drawish. I don't see also what I can play. If I go on king side, then he comes to the queen side, grabs the a5 pawn, and in any case he's faster than me. If I am on the queen side, let's say king b4, king c2, king a2 both look fine. King a2, king c3, king a3, king c2, king a4, king b2, king a5, king b3, king b5. This looks bad. But I have to calculate that. Okay, king b4. Let's say first king a2. King a3, king c3, king a3, king c2. He can go king a2 if he wants draw. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? I too pity that I cannot check the chat and get the help from you. I still would play king b4, which I'm sure is not the move, and it is not the move. But I want to see the solution. King d4, king c2, king e4. Even king e3 is winning. But I don't get it. Why king c2 and why king d4 and king c3? This doesn't make sense for me. g4, king d4. I did not understand what I'm playing on king a3. This is the moment where I'm going to analyze the puzzle, because I really want to know what's going on after king a3. I'm not just getting the pawn, or king a3, king e3, king a4, king f3, king a5, king g3, b4. That's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to analyze the puzzle. I hope that I have it fixed, but if I don't have it, I'm just I don't think I have it. I can show the board, but I'll try to do it. Because I think we all want to know what is the solution. So I'm going to add the board. It's not nice that I'm doing it in the middle of sorry, the live, but that's how it is at the moment. Okay, so what I was interested in is that after king d4, king a3, king c3, computer telling me that it's very, very winning. I was wondering about king a2, king c2, king a3, king b1. Okay, so I'm getting this pawn, or I'm not getting this pawn. I think I'm getting this pawn, and this looks like winning. This is indeed winning. I had in mind that this should be like the winning position, but I didn't get how could I get it, because I was like, oh, it's just a draw if I go here and there. But yeah, I had to calculate more, and probably I did not have to walk 10 kilometers today, and I'm very tired. But as you know, I'm moving to Holland in 2 days, and I have lots of stuff to take and lots of stuff to do, and this is my excuse for bad solutions. Okay, so king b3, and this looks, yeah, this looks really very, very winning. I'm gonna show why it is winning, because we grab this, and after king g4 it is extra pawn for black and really winning position. But after king c2 there is king e3, king c3, king e2, very important, and on king c4 we don't go for this pawn, which would be lost, but we go for king d2, and still we get the same position with king c3 and king b3. The main point of this position is that we have to get exactly this one. So we have to have our king on b3, and his king can be on a5, and it can be his move. If the king was on b5, then it would be really different situation. If it was like king b5 and his move, then he would be the first to get and grab the pawns, but it's not this situation, and it's a very good opposition. King c3, king e2, and king c2 here would not work. Sorry. King c2 here would not work, because now the king is very far from the a5 pawn, and we go for h3 pawn. And now it would be like this. King g4, king a5, and h5, b5, h3, and there we have afterwards check. It's true that both have queens, but we have check on a1, king b6, check on b2, king c7, and we get this one, and we have an extra pawn to promote. This was really very instructive endgame to calculate and to see the power of opposition. So now I'm going to take a look at the chat. I hope you bear with me and you bear my solutions. But let's see how you are solving these ones. And if you have any questions, I will of course answer them. Sopiko, how get better at visualization and board awareness? Any specific suggestions? Well, I hope that you're having the board very much in your head. Let's say, when I was very little and when I started to play chess, there was one coach that I had training with like 10 or 20 sessions, and actually he was not very good chess player, or he was not aware of any openings or lots of tactics or end games. But what he taught me was the board. And what I mean with this is that when I was very little, he showed me the board, he explained everything, the squares and everything, and then he would ask me like, okay, what is the color of the d5 square? What is the color of the g5 square? What is the color of the a1 square? So in one or two sessions, I had board very good in my mind. So for me, it's very easy now uh, to imagine the board, imagine the position, and calculate. Because once you know the board, you know how the pieces move, of course, and then it's very easy to imagine the position and start calculating. What I advice for this is that you take a book. If you're a beginner, then you have to take the book of your level. You take a book of beginner. Don't have the board. First of all, you have to know the board, of course. But once you take a book, don't have the board with you and don't make moves. So just take a look at the book and try to imagine the position, try to imagine the moves and the board. And like this, within the practice, you will get much better in imagining the positions and calculating them blindfoldly. Okay, let's let's see. Another question, is not her baby's name Daniel? Yes, my baby's name is Daniel. Okay, I think there are no more questions. When will be the Banter Blitz session? It will be in a week, next Thursday. It will be my last show this year, so be sure that you're gonna be there. Okay. What are your expectations for Tata? What score would you settle for? Ooh, expectations should be always good. If you're starting to play the tournament, I know it's going to be very difficult tournament. I know that this is the strongest tournament I have ever played. I know that it's going to be very tough for me facing 26 plus every day, 13 rounds. But still, expectations should be good. I'm realistic, but I'm starting the tournament with a good mood. About the score, I didn't think of that. I think 50%, if I get the 50%, it would be really an amazing result, because it is very, very strong tournament, and I guess I'm gonna win lots of elo. For 50%, it doesn't sound very optimistic, let's say. Not optimistic, but it's not like, oh, I'm gonna win the tournament. I'm realistic, but you never know what's gonna happen. There miracles might happen, but to be realistic, I think that I have to fight every game, and I just have to see how this tournament will go for me. And in any case, it will be very good experience for me, because next I'm playing the Women's World Championship, so I will try to prepare for it, and this tournament will be an amazing event for me. But of course, I'm gonna try to fight, I'm gonna try to show my best, and I will settle for 50%. Okay, let's see. Okay, there was one more question for me. Sopiko, I have been solving tactics for quite a long time. The time taken by me to solve is usually 10 times the average time to solve a particular tactic. What should I do as I am unable to still improve in my ratings? What would you suggest? Um, I guess the question is how should you improve your calculation? Anyway, I'm gonna answer both of your questions. Um, Solving tactics, it's very important because it trains your brain. It makes you keeps you sharp and alert, and it's very beneficial before the tournament and even during the tournament. I think practice is very important. Just do not um, do not quit, don't resign, fight, solve as much as possible. And I can give you some tips how to look at the position. First of all, when you look at the position, you see the position is equal, your material down or material up. Then you look for checks and sacrifices. What I mean with checks and sacrifices is that usually tactics means that it's a winning position. So there is a winning motive and there is a winning idea, which you have to find. This is already good because when you're in the game, nobody tells you that your position is winning because then you would be more focused and you would see or find the solution. But in the game, we don't have such thing. Nobody can tell you you're winning now. But by solving a lot of tactics, you get the feeling that your position is winning and there should be something in this position. That's why solving tactics is very important. So once you solve the tactics, so you have to look at the position materially, then you have to seek for checks and sacrifices. Usually there are sacrifices that make sense and that doesn't make sense. Sacrifices is very common motive because it gives you something, either it's mate, either you get something back, so always look for them. And if still you don't like something and you don't see right away the solution, then you have to use the candidate move idea. So you look at the position and you think of the moves what occur to you. Let's say there are 3 moves that comes to your mind. Don't start calculating it. Just say, okay, this move is the candidate move, that one and that one, and then get back to the first one, see if there is something. If it doesn't work, then second one. If it doesn't work, the third one. But by this seeking a move in the position, you will practice your skills to solve the puzzles. So I think it was a bit helpful, my tips. And okay, I'm going to see if there was any other question. I guess not that much. Wow, is this the first time you're playing for the World Championships? No, I'm not playing it first time. I played it I played last World Championship as well. I got kicked from the tie breaks from a Georgian player, Lela Javahishvili, but it was a very tense match. It was a very nice experience for me, and it was even funny because I'm Georgian, and in the World Championship, where there are 64 women fighting for the title, I found the Georgian opponent who I can play wherever in Georgia. But it happened in World Championship. The match it was against Lela Javahishvili, very strong player who is in our Olympic team. I lost the first game and then I won another one, and then we had tie breaks. So 25-minute games. It was I guess it was draw. not I guess, but it was two draws, then also two draws, and I lost the blitz, unfortunately. Okay, so how important is the opening for you? The opening is quite important for me, though I think for women's chess it's not that a big deal. I have particular idea. I don't know. I have ideas of what men's chess and women's chess. I think that women's chess is very different from men's chess. We are very emotional. If you look at our games, it might be just like this, I don't know, heart rate. And if you look at men's position, it's like the heart is dead. It's like this. All very good moves, all very good computer evaluations, but in women's chess it happens very rarely. Opening is very important for me because when I know what I'm going to play, I feel more confident. And I think that confidence is very important for women because you might not even have an idea what's going on in the game, but you might sit very confident, have a good feeling of the game, and you might just get lucky and win the game. I had many examples in my career like that. The opening I played was surprise for my opponent, and I really like when I surprise my opponent. So I feel that I'm not getting out prepared, and I actually surprised him, so he takes his time. But it could not work that good for me as I wanted. But still, from the beginning, I have such a feeling that I have an advantage, and not advantage in the position, but I have psychological advantage, and this can last till the end of the game. And I'm sitting there very confident. She's calculating. She is in the position. Then there comes time trouble, and I won lots of games like that. How to solve ones with longer calculations. Uh, on Chess 24, unfortunately, there is only 5 minute speed training, and the longer one, if you want, it's just you have to stop after every puzzle, like I do in this show, and you can think as much as possible. Um, Daniel, welcome to the Netherlands for the first time. Yes, Daniel, welcome to Netherlands for the first time, and let's see how it will be. No, Daniel is not living in Netherlands. Well, he will live now in Netherlands, but not Rijswijk. We're living in The Hague. I gave birth in Georgia, and we stayed here for 3 months here. And at the end of this month, we're going back to Holland. Does Anish know Nepal language? He had a nice time with so many Indian players in Baku. He was speaking Nepalese when he was a child, but I think he does not speak fluently for now. Okay, if there is another question. Any books you would suggest on tactics, or Chess 24 trainer is sufficient? Chess 24 tactics trainer is really a good deal. If you don't have if you're not online, or if you don't want to have mobile or laptop in front of your eyes, you can of course have a book. there are lots of good books. If you're a beginner, I would suggest 600 Puzzles of Bloch. It is very good one. There are positions which has two solutions, which means that you have to see the threat of your opponent, and you have to take care of the threats which are on the board, and what can be your ideas. If you're not a beginner, then of course I would suggest the Agard series, the Jacob Agard series. He has written lots of fantastic books, like Calculation is the perfect book. He has a lot of books about strategy, positional play, end games, tactics. You can take a look at those and solve them. And let's see if there is another question for me. In what languages are you raising Daniel? I am speaking to him in Georgian always. His father is speaking to him in Russian. He hears from us English, and of course he will know Dutch. Dutch in Holland, while we will be living in Holland. I don't know, that's gonna be a big mixture for him. For languages, it's quite tough, but I hope that he will manage, and at some point he will speak all four languages fluently. Okay, I love your opening video. It's the best ever. Thank you very much. Seriously. Will you make a second one with a different opening, Russian maybe? So far I have openings with black pieces, with black repertoire, Najdorf, and the triangle Slav. Maybe for next year I'll try to do something. I'll try to offer you something with white pieces and to take care of white repertoire as well. So let's see. Sopiko, how to learn the Grunfeld. Svidler's series looks so complicated for an intermediate player. He'll be sharp. Oh, I don't think there is better thing than to recommend about the there is anything better than Peter's series. For understanding the Grunfeld, you can just buy any book on the Grunfeld which has the best games of the Grunfeld, and you will understand the ideas and motives how to play it. And then if you want to choose the right way to play the Grunfeld, for sure you have to look and watch Svidler's series. What you recommend, match, blitz, or match classic? Depends what do you want for the training. You want it for the training, or you just want it for fun. For fun, I like to play blitz games, and classical match is very nice. It's very you have to take it very seriously. You have time for that. I like it because let's say on world championship match, you have time to prepare against your opponent and surprise him, or take a look at his or her games and see what he likes, what he doesn't like. It's very nice to play a match because you know everything in advance. You know what you're going to play, you know your strategy. So I prefer classical match. I actually played, I think, 3 classical matches. One was when I was 12 years old in Indonesia. I had match against very strong Irena Sukundar. I won the match 4-2. Then I had match in Holland, Hoogeveen match against very talented Dutch player Anamaya Kazarian. I won that 5.5-half, and I had World Championship match with Lela. It was draw 1-1. Okay, Another question, is it possible to play as simultan on Chess 24? Like the Simulmaster on ICC, it's a big fun. I don't think we have that feature for now, but I think next year they will try and work on it. Okay, thanks for the triangles, love Sopiko. Any updates on the Knight of Poisoned Pawn variation after London? I guess you mean the Karana Nakamura game. Not yet, because on my Night Elf series I was not recommending the poisoned pawn. I had the system with knight bd7, so I'm still sticking to this move. Hi Sopiko, I'm a beginner, so is playing Blitz better or playing classical games better at this stage? I think you can do the mixture of it if you're taking a lot of time while you're playing the classical games, then it's nice to play Blitz, because if you're a time trouble player, you will know how to handle the time trouble, and with Blitz practice you will feel the position more. If you're not a time trouble player, I would recommend you still to play the classical games, because then you have time like it's really like a tournament, like a Swiss system tournament, and it's just a very, very good practice. Okay, next time we'll just make one of our questions. Okay, we can do that, of course. Sopiko, what's the rating should one have on Chess24 Tactics Trainer that may be considered reasonable? Ooh, this I don't know myself, because I'm jumping from 2200 to 2000, 1800. It depends what kind of mood I have, but still every day I try to solve the tactics on Chess24. Okay, so has it ever happened to anyone to check their own video series for a tournament preparation? Sopiko might want to check her Triangles Love series herself. Oh, I'm sure that it happened, because generally if your memory is not shining, then of course you take a look at your video series. What are you recommending there? Because they might see, and you have to know what your opponents know about you. So of course I'm sure that everybody takes a look at their video series. Will Anish and you help each other preparing for the games at Tata? I for sure count on Anish's help. I don't know if he counts on mine, but of course we will do. I'm always ready to help Anish, as well as he's always ready to help me, and I'm really grateful for that. But of course it's not chess is not only preparation on the board, but it's also physical preparation. It is also psychological preparation. So it's very nice that we're both playing the main groups of Tata Steel tournament. We are always supporting each other, and we will always be there for each other. Will Daniel learn chess? Of course he will know chess and he will learn chess, but I don't know if he will be chess player or not. Chance for becoming youngest GM ever. I'm not sure about that. Maybe 3 chess players at home, it's quite a lot. Do you know the schedule yet? Which opponent and which side and which day? Tata Steel Chess Challenger. Yes, we do know the opponents. You can find it on Tata Steel website. The schedule as well, it can be found on the website, and everything is known so far. thank you. It says that I think it would be great to see a women's London Chess Classic. It would be really, really very nice event. And if there is a question if Miss Strategy and Rudolph also playing. She is not playing in the Tata still, but of course she will be there, and she will be there to give you information and all details about Tata Steel tournaments. She is part of the press team, and I'm really happy that she's going to be there supporting us, and I'm very, very happy and glad to see her. Every time I have a chance to see her, I'm like, oh, you should come, of course, and we're going to be together, have fun and great times. Tanya's commentary was so good in London. Along with Yasser, she made a formidable team. She's really very good, very strong chess player. I loved her commentary as well, and generally the commentators on Grand Chess Tour, all of them, they were really very nice. They explained the positions very well, and it was very entertaining. Wow, there was lots of questions, and I will read the last one now. Would you advise to participate in the amateur tournament 9 rounds or follow masters and challengers from home? Ooh, I for sure advise to participate in amateurs tournament. If you have a chance, you for sure have to use it because it's an amazing event. It's an amazing atmosphere. I myself was participating in amateurs event already for 2-3 years, I guess. The 9 round event, the tournament which was allowing you to qualify for the B group. That's how Dubov qualified in B group, and of course I advise you to come and play there. It's amazing experience. It's awesome to see the players in live, and it's just super, super cool. So you should definitely, if you have a chance, you have to make a visit, play the tournament. It will be fantastic. Do you celebrate Christmas on in 2 days or on 7th January? As you know, I'm Orthodox, so we have the old calendar. We use the old calendar, as they say, so we celebrate it on 7th January. Okay, so this was the question and answer for today, and I think that it was quite educational, and well, I hope that I answered all of your questions. As I said, in a week there will be my last show on Thursday this year, so please be there. There might be a lot of surprises, and if you have any questions for the Thursday, of course you have to be there, ask the questions. I'm always trying to take a look at the chat and answer your questions. I wish you a very, very nice evening. Remember, it's very important to solve the tactics. It's very important to have the practice so you can play blitz games online. You can play blitz games with a friend, and you can play classical games. Please do that and watch series on Chess24. Thank you for participating in the show. Thanks for the questions. See you next week. Bye bye.